hunting. Okay. Come on. Finally, that only took you 5 years. Alrighty, so I am actually in this game, which I didn't remember, at my hunting lodge. I think I was building... Yeah, I think I was building my houseboat over there to ship over some logs. But let me show you around. So this is one side of my hunting lodge. It's the same area that I was just in the other game. I tend to secure it a little bit after I've been here a few times after the mutants are out. What I do is just a stone wall just to keep the mutants out, really, because the cannibals are usually not the issue. It's the mutants that are the problem, if anything. And then I have just a retreat here, little thing to get up, and I also have something to get down over there. And what I tend to do with the walls is to keep the cannibals out, especially, is to build 2 layers of walls, actually, with little gaps where I can sneak through myself. Because that tends to, if I would have extended the wall further, then the cannibals tend to jump over the first wall, but then they get stuck in between. So that's a nice thing also, if you struggle with cannibals. Now let me show you the other side of my hunting lodge, because I tend to have 2 sides where I have... I just heard something. Oh well. I usually have a hunting lodge on the far side and one on the other side, just so if one is beleaguered by mutants and cannibals, I can go around and still have a place where I can make food if need be. Or just simply save and sleep. Hi there, lizard. I don't think I need you, actually. Let me see, what do I have? Yeah, looking pretty decent. I'm not actually going to bother playing it, really. I just want to show you around so you can see my awesomeness at building. Really just a brag screen, if you like. Stream. I know English. I always find it funny when people tell me that I sound German, that they totally knew that I was German after I told them that I was German. Mind you. Then they say stuff like, oh yeah, I totally heard that, you know. It's in your voice, yeah, could tell there was some German in it. So this is my other side of the hunting lodge. Et voila. Hi bunny, bye bunny. And now let me show you my little house. Another thing that people tend to not be aware of, don't ask me how they cannot be aware of that, but yeah, another thing is that the AI is constantly following you. So once you leave your house, your base, it will follow you in a certain distance. You usually have a couple of minutes in between you arriving at whatever location you want to go to, and them finally arriving there. That is something that you can actually use to your advantage if you are too beleaguered at your base. You can, if for example you're still building your base up and there's already too many mutants and too many cannibals out, then what I tend to do is I just do a big circle around the island, and by the time I arrive back home, given that they follow me around, my base is clear and I can do some more wood chopping without being pestered by them. The only thing is you really have to do a circle. If you just go and do a beeline, then you will not have enough time to do much. Especially what I would suggest is have a little outpost somewhere further away. If you then spend maybe a day or 2 days at the outpost, then they tend to mess up there, which then gives you even more time before they start showing up at your base if you return to it. Your main base, that is. And also, diving is usually faster than swimming over. And they can't see you if you dive, so it's kind of helping you staying hidden as well. I actually had people come into my stream telling me that I was crouching. And that I walk faster if I don't crouch. Since, you know, I hadn't figured that out yet. And that's then usually also the people that leave after 5 seconds again. Come in, backseat drive, see it doesn't have any effect and leave. Because I don't have enough brains to figure that different people have different playstyles. Or in other words, that not everyone is as dumb as they are, and just run around upright everywhere, and then wonder why they get their rears handed to them by a dozen mutants and cannibals. So now it's actually nice that it's getting dark, because I think my little hut looks very nice when it's dark. Indeed, because it's nightly lit. Nightly. What the? I can't talk anymore. It's nicely lit up. Was what I was going to say before my tongue decided not to do what my brain wanted it to. The one thing that I really dislike about YouTube streaming is that you have the two different chats, the top chat and the live chat. I don't know what the point is of the whole top chat rubbish. But yeah, it seems to put the top chat always on by default, which means that not every message that you type comes through unless I change it. Okie doke, no problem. You don't need to hear me, you just have to acknowledge my awesomeness, that's all. So, here we are. Home sweet home. Me little house. And the garden shed. My mutant trap. Well, mutant animals, I suppose. Yes, 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 I know you're cold. Oh. I'm stupid, I could have just put on the warm suit. Oh well. Anyhow, so this is my house, my little boat to ship whatever I needed when I was still building it. And that's the living quarters. With ambient light, as you can see. I forgot to... Normally I would have put lights in the beams here as well, left and right. I forgot about that when I was building it. The perfect fireplace. Buns. Yep. You got company. And that's the storage roof. So, this is the storage. Well, one of them. I actually quite like how the decorations turned out. Looks like a little piece of art. Very proud of it. Thank you very much. That side too. Was a pain getting it at least somewhat to look similar. I think that one's a little bit more spaced out than that one. Yeah, a wee bit. And it sounds like somebody just drowned himself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's that, and now let me show you my garden shed. Peekaboo. I actually don't remember if I have in this save, if I already have... Oh, also, look, my little lighthouse. I got fed up with getting stuck on the stupid log whenever I would move my boat around at nights. So, well, if you're smart, you do something about it. That's it. Whoops. Perfect driving skills. And this is my garden shed. I unfortunately forgot when I built this one to elevate it a little so I could put on stairs. So, et voila! Putting in these shelf units is actually a pain in the rear. Because I mean, there's two ways you could do it, I suppose. One way would be if you would put up a rock wall, and then on top of the rock wall put a just a floor, and then just cut the floor to size, you know, just take away whatever you need so it looks like you have shelving units wherever, on whichever wall you want them. But that means that you have, of course, on the bottom a rock wall, so if you would want to put in a door, then it kind of starts getting wonky. To make it like this, what I did, if you might see that, I put a foundation, built the foundation, then I put up the blueprints for the walls just to have some orientation points, and then I put up foundations on top of the existing foundation, two of them. One, as you can see here, the long end, and I made it so I don't close them up, so I just have the foundations, just free walls of the foundations if you like, and leave the one side open so I can access all the stuff. That was a bit of a pain, especially what's the trickiest part is to get the foundations to, not the foundations, foundations, to get them to be somewhat the same height. That was the tricky bit actually, because since everything is just blueprints, it's hard to really tell whether it will match or not until you have actually built it. So was lots of trial and error to get it right, and I'm really proud of my little croc lanterns there. I did what I actually have in mind for my little beach hut that I haven't built yet, is to make an illuminated shark head. In order to do so, you gotta place a croc head, then make another stick for the shark head trophy underneath it, and then place the lantern as you see it now. Just place it closer to the wall underneath the croc head. The croc head acts like a ceiling, so you can place the lantern on it, and then put the shark head just so it kind of goes snug with the croc head, and it looks as if the shark head is illuminated by the lantern. Only problem is that it looks a bit awkward because you have the croc head on top of the shark head, especially since the shark head is bigger than the croc head, but Now let me show you my... I hope I have built it in the save game already. Let me see if I have my my little... Oh, come on, let me up there. I never have issues normally. There we go. I'm trying to show you my little mountain lake hut. Hope I can get there without issues. Well, speaking of the devil. The only real issues actually mutant-wise are those stumpers, because they just flatten you. The problem with them is because of the speed that they have, they manage to run over any rock walls that you have. If they are not placed in a certain way, they can easily run over them, which makes it tricky sometimes. So even if you have rock walls up to kind of keep the mutants out, you always have to keep an eye on those guys. So now, normally the beach hut I built there on this little peninsula island thing. That's usually where I place the beach hut. And my mountain hut I usually place, well, there's two places, but the easier one is right at the frozen lake. And what's really cool actually with the frozen lake is because it is frozen, or at least partially frozen, you can build on top of the lake without any foundations. You can build rock walls on top of it and whatnot. Only thing with rock walls is if you make them too long, they tend to get a bit wonky. So you would have to make several smaller ones if you wanted to keep it neat. But you could put your regular log walls straight on top of that. No issues. Or what I like to do, I place my garden right on the water. So, a little garden patch. Let me just show you my little mini base that I have here in the cave. This is the main cave. This is the cave that also leads to the sinkhole. And usually when you saw me in the hunting grounds going for the raccoon, what I then tend to do, either once I have the raccoon, or if I just abandon it altogether because it's been too many days, I tend to come here and just put a little outpost here. Normally I have a bench here. I don't know what happened to that. Possibly haven't built it. Just put a bench, and I put a save point there as well. The other thing also with this game is they tend to only go really, or come to where you are, especially when you have a save point there. So unless you build a save point like a hunting lodge, or even just a permanent shelter, temporary, I mean, temporary shelter, then they tend to leave you alone for a little bit longer than if you had a proper save point there. Especially so with the mutants. They seem to be drawn to save points. But again, only if you're there, but more so if you're there and there's a save point. But yeah, let's see if I have the mountain lodge. I should maybe put on the warm suit. Would be smart, right? I'm always surprised at all the mushrooms that grow here in the snow. Quite amazing. If only it worked like that in real life, huh? Winter mushrooms. Free frozen food. And doesn't look like I built it. Which is a pity, because that looks usually nice as well. But let me show you just... whoops, that's the wrong thing. No, that's not the right thing either. So, you see the water? It's a bit tricky, because as you can see, it keeps flashing. But sometimes you just have to push the button a little bit, a couple of times, and it will register. So yeah, you could, like I said, in theory, build it like that. And that's it. So yeah, shame that I didn't have the hut built here. It's just a really basic hut that cost me so much pain when I first designed it. I had so many rage quit moments over that thing when I started completely over because I was just fed up because it didn't work out the way that I wanted to, until I finally managed to find a way to build it the way that I wanted to. And then I don't know what happened. Something went wrong again, and I decided to start over. But yeah. Anyhow, this is what I wanted to show you. There's nothing else at the moment in the game. The other place that I tend to build is up in the mountain right there. Actually, over there. It's... wait, what's the map again? Oh, I can't even show you because I forgot. Never mind. But yeah, there's one spot on the mountain where absolutely nothing can get to you. Well, mutants can sort of spawn there if you spend too much time up there, but even the mutants aren't able to get over the rocks. They tend to not spawn exactly where you build, depending on how you build, I suppose. But yeah, maybe sometime whenever I got everything done. Most of the time I actually just play the game because I enjoy the building. I don't even bother playing the game through. I just love building and trying out new things. But either way, I hope you enjoyed it. And I actually think I will take a nap, and then I most likely will go and play some Destiny when I'm back up. Thank you. Glad you like it. Yeah, I have a hard time finding people to play this game with. That's why I eventually stopped bothering trying to find people, because most people are just simply not stealth players. They have no clue about stealth. They have no awareness of what's going on around them, and therefore even trying to teach them stealth is just not possible. I mean, you know, if somebody has absolutely no awareness of what's going on around them, then there's no point in telling them to crouch, because, well, you know, kind of like you yesterday when you were suddenly surprised that somebody right next to you shot you in the head, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Anyhow, you enjoy your stream. I hope you have some nice people watching you. And I will catch you later. You take care for now.